Alright, AKAPADers, here it is, more COMICTOM1O1. We have to talk about this absolute pathetic fake enthusiasm. Let's go. Alright, AKAPADers, Peter A. DeLuca here. And say with me, you know it's coming. Known throughout Philadelphia, PA, Europe, and the multiverse as the Eclectic One. Welcome back to the channels, my AKAPAD army. Get yourself a little bit of that sippy sip. What is comic book history? What's comic book legacy? Why must it be maintained? Why it must be preserved? And why do we have to cherish these benchmarks that define these characters? If you can answer any of those questions, this clip coming up will show you the absolute real threat of not just COMICTOM1O1, but accounts, social media personalities, we can call it content creation, content positioning, like COMICTOM1O1, because they revert to this fake desperate enthusiasm to pump you up so that you can spend money on items, on books, on storylines, on characters, new or old, that are insignificant or a betrayal of everything you and I hold true. And what do you and I hold true? We hold true to comic book history, to comic book continuity. Continuity, period, is what built the comic book industry. Anyone that acts like continuity doesn't move books, create obsessive hardcore readers, is lying to you, and they are the enemy. And guess what? Nearly everyone tells you that. So I guess I'm not your enemy. I'm your friend. But let's hit that clip with let's hit that Comic Tom clip where he is hyping up Mary Jane becoming, I can't even get the words together. Mary Jane becoming a superhero named Jackpot, because you hit the jackpot, tiger. She becomes Jackpot. We don't know her powers. She's given a costume by Black Cat because they're having girl time on the couch. These are all things that we hate about modern comics, but Comic Tom needs to pump up the stock just to talk about something relevant. And
now we're looking at the list at number 6 with Amazing Spider-Man number 31, seeing $10 average sales, and this was a beefy book with a lot of things that are going for it. So much is happening. We're seeing so many transitional moments in this run, and it all begins here. And then we also have Black Cat providing Mary Jane her first costume, and now taking on that, you hit the jackpot, tiger, Jackpot superhero name.
Silly, they don't even really explain what her powers are. There's just like a one-shot image of her in costume. It looks like she has some kind of dazzler light powers.
Does it matter? I'm excited.
I'll check.
Alright, AKAPADers, how about that cringe? So let's just elaborate exactly what the baseline for this argument is. There's just things we don't do. There's things we cherish, we hold true. Again, we have to protect the castle on the hill, the shining castle on the hill. We need to protect that. And this evolves out of, I remember when they first changed the costume of Spider-Man, where we got a deviation from the Ditko designed masterpiece. Blasphemy, okay? And that was again, a major comic book footnote. A lot of people ignore that. I remember also, I remember when Superman Returns came out, and they pretty much were saying in that movie Superman has a son, and again, shockwaves. These are things that should not happen, that do not exist, because at that point, even by the time of Superman Returns, even the time that Spider-Man shifted his costume, we had the template. We knew what worked. Thousands, maybe even millions of comic book fans voted by their dollar to what was true, what was honorable, and what worked. and we're deviating more and more away from what works. And this is why we have to push back. This is why we don't buy these books. This is why we shouldn't even do videos on them. We shouldn't even promote them. We should just let these failed attempts drift peacefully into the night to disappear forever. Indiana Jones Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Indiana Jones does not have a son. He does not get married. For Indiana Jones, the adventure always continues. Also, Indiana Jones should never take place in a period other than the first 3 movies, because he should be a period-based adventurer, not a he doesn't age. Anyway, and we kind of saw a lot of that with Dial of Destiny, where he's just too old to do anything, and he's just like driving around avoiding things. James Bond does not have children. James Bond does not fall in love. If James Bond falls in love, it's temporary, and that woman that he falls in love with is soon to die. This is the James Bond trope. This is what we know works, and we saw that with the Daniel Craig trilogy, right? I mean, like they completely destroyed the character to the point that it's hard to get excited for the next James Bond, knowing what they did with the Daniel Craig run. And that doesn't mean Daniel Craig didn't have good movies. I think those first 3 are I love Quantum of Solace, and I'm like maybe the only person on planet Earth that absolutely loves that movie. But people, Mary Jane, jackpot. This is not a character. This does not happen. This is a battleground, and COMICTOM1O1 is just completely desperate to hype things up, to get things excited. He's not really excited about this because there's nothing to be excited about. We don't even know the powers of the character. There's nothing they're going to do with this character, period. Mary Jane should be married to Peter Parker. This is the mythology, this is the path of both of these characters, and this is what we've accepted. Giving the 2 of them turmoil, sure, you can do something within the story relationship wise, but severely, majorly changing the characters, it's lunacy. And we did see something similar when it just comes to the supporting characters, with John Jonah Jameson getting involved with Aunt May. People, sometimes you can't unring the bell. The tube is out of the toothpaste dispenser. You can't put the toothpaste back into the tube. This is why we move on from these ideas, and we have to go and find other things. COMICTOM is just in this lane now, where they just want to peddle anything because their relevance is dependent on the quality of American comic books, and they cannot even address the real issues of why we're having a complete break and a complete failure in American comic books. And therein, they are the true problem. AKAPAD here, rock and roll. I love you guys.